This video is sponsored by sellcashier.com. Sellcashier pays top dollar for your used iPhone. Get a quote, ship your phone, and get paid. It's that simple. Check out more details at the end of this video. What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar, from GeeksterLabs.com. How you guys doing today? Well, today I'm really excited about this product I'm about to show you because this is probably one of the coolest products I've ever had the opportunity to review. This is something that was sent to me free for review from Livescribe, and today we have the Livescribe 3 Smartpen. So this product retails for $150. They also have a Pro Edition, which is $200, which comes with a couple extras, plus a one-year Evernote subscription. So this is basically a Bluetooth smart pen that works along with a special notebook from Livescribe in conjunction with a mobile app that they have available for the iPhone and the iPad. And it basically allows you to write notes into the notepad, and then it instantly appears and transfers all those notes onto your device. It's a really awesome product. There's some really cool uses for it in different scenarios that I want to kind of give you guys demonstrations of in a second. But first off, let's get to the basics. So included in the box we have, of course, the smart pen. We have a starter notebook that they send you, and this is a 50-page notebook. They also include one tungsten carbide ballpoint ink cartridge that comes in black medium, and the micro USB charging cable as well. So let's check out the pen. First off, the way you turn it on is by twisting the middle section of the pen with the grip right there. When you do that, it turns on and the pen tip does come out. We have a nice LED light that turns on to show you the status. The first one would be green, which is powered on but in waiting for connection. After that, it could be blue, which means it's on and connected to your device. If it blinks yellow 3 times, that means you have 50% battery life left. And if it blinks yellow, that means the firmware update is in process. And if the light is solid red, that means it's recording audio, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the tip that comes with the pen is black, and it's a ballpoint tip. You can remove it easily with your fingers. It doesn't require any special tools to replace tips. And you can also purchase extra tips on Livescribe.com. I believe it's $10 for an 8-pack of tips. And you can also use other tips as well, as long as they're 67 millimeters by 2.5 millimeters in diameter. You just have to make sure that it uses carbon-free ink. And of course, Livescribe doesn't recommend this. They would prefer you to purchase their pen tips, but you are able to do this as well. The only other refills that I found online that are different from the ones that Livescribe offers is ones that are fine tip, but there's no other styles of pen. They're all ballpoint, so there's no other like gel pens or things like that. So if you really like using that type of pen, that's one thing to consider. On the other end of the pen, we have a stylus, which makes it really easy to use with your tablet. And if you remove the stylus tip, underneath it we have the USB port. And so this is what you would use to charge the built-in battery of the pen. And once it's fully charged, this pen will last you 14 hours of continuous use. And it actually will charge in less than an hour, fully charge. We have a nice pocket clip as well, which is metal, and it has like a nice chrome finish to it. And on the front of the pen, we have the high-speed infrared camera, which it uses to capture your handwriting, and then it stores that in the built-in memory on the pen, because there's actually a processor inside this pen. And so once it does that, you can actually sync it up to your device, whether it's an iPhone or an iPad later. When you turn on the app, it'll actually take all the notes that you've stored on the pen and push it to the app. Of course, you can use it at the same time, and you'll see what you're writing appear on the tablet simultaneously as you're doing this. But if you don't have your tablet or your iPhone around with you, you don't have to have them on with you. You can actually store all the information in the pen itself. So as far as the pen goes, it's a bit thicker than the average pen. So those with small hands might want to test it out before actually buying it. I myself kind of prefer skinnier pens, but I have to admit I got used to it pretty quickly, and it's still very lightweight, and it's at only 1.2 ounces, so it's definitely not a really bulky, heavy pen. Alright, so now let's talk about the notebook that comes with this. So included is a starter notebook, alright, and this has 50 sheets of paper. It's a smaller notebook. It's about 8.25 by 6.5. It's not a full-size notebook. And so one important thing to keep in mind is that you have to use their notebooks for it to work. It has a special dot type of paper on it, and the camera uses those dots to know where on the page you're actually writing. And so there's actual special buttons on the pages as well, which I'll give you guys a demonstration of in a bit. So while writing notes, you can tag things and do different functions. And so the Livescribe website has many notebooks to pick from, and they're not too expensive either. An example is I have an 8.5 by 11 300-page notebook, and it's only $9. So it might be tough to find these notebooks locally, so you may want to order a few extras if you have this pen, just so you can have it on hand in case you run out of paper. As you can see on the bottom, we have some special icons inside the notebook, and we have one for recording audio. So you can record audio while you're writing your notes, so you don't miss anything, and it's using the microphone of your device, whether it's the iPad or the iPhone. Of course, if you do that, you have to have your device with you and turned on and recording at the same time as you're writing this. Like I said, the microphone is not built into the pen. It's using the mic from your device. Okay guys, so now let me give you guys a demonstration of how it looks when I'm actually writing with the pen. So here we have the tablet right here, I have the application open right here. There's not too much to the application itself. It just basically has different sections on the side right here. One is notebooks. It actually will keep track of all the different notebooks. So if you have multiple Livescribe notebooks, it'll list them here. In the notebook, it shows you all the different pages. I've already taken a few sample notes right there. As you can see, it also has my feeds. Feeds is where when it translates your text into digital text. Then you have Pencast, which is recordings, and I'll give you guys a demo of that. I already filmed or I recorded one while I was taking notes, and I'll show you guys how that works. Then we have collections, Livescribe PDFs. So if you were to share your Livescribe PDFs with someone else that also has a Livescribe app, they can post this and they'll send it to you, and you would open it up in here, and you can actually see this, all their notes. You could even see their Pencast. So if they have any recorded notes as well, you can also, it'll also appear as well, there as well. And then you have settings. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick demo here. So I have a new sheet of paper. I've turned the page. It's not appearing here right now, but as soon as I start writing, it'll start showing up over here. So let's do this. So I'm going to write some sample notes. You see it? We have a new page over here. Pop on there. So as I'm writing, it's keeping track of it on that side. There's a little bit of latency between the two, but it only takes a couple seconds for it to catch up. So as you see, it's mimicking exactly what I'm writing on the screen right here on the actual tablet. Here's a cool thing you can actually do. You can write some linkable items, and when I show them to you later in the feed over here, there actually be items that you can click on. So for example, if I did geeksterlabs.com, it'll make that a link. Let's say if I did my phone number. This is not actually my phone number, but phone numbers, email addresses, at Geekster. And even though my handwriting is pretty sloppy, and it's kind of a combination of print and cursive, it still does a pretty good job of deciphering what the text that you're actually typing is. So let's see, let's add another thing. So let's say I was writing something in here like a date. So let's have September 8, 2014, let's say at 8 p.m. Okay, so I got that right there. A few linkable items. We've got a website, a phone number, an email address, a date, and then some regular notes. Let's throw in a drawing in here as well. Let's say if I just want to draw a picture of a cat or something. What are we doing here? Oops, turned off. There we go. So you can see it's copying everything identically on this side over here. So I want to stop taking the notes right now. Turn the pen off. Slide this over, and let's check out, see what we have here. So if I go back into my notebooks, I see all my notes right here. Come back to it. So now feed is an option I can actually click on. So if I click on feed, these are the actual notes. Now this is something that this is all the notes all combined into one thing. I've been taking different notes on different pages, so we're just focusing on this section right here. This is what I just actually finished writing right over here. So as you see, if we swipe it left to right, sample notes, this is super cool. See, it changed it to the text right there. See, like geeksterlabs.com, each line is its own thing. So Geeksterlabs, it didn't misspell that. It says geeksterlabs.com. So it doesn't get the handwriting perfectly right every single time. So we can see that got messed up a little bit right there. Here's a phone number. Let's check that out. There we go, 210-555-1234. If I was previewing this on the Livescribe app on my phone, I can actually click on that and it would dial that phone number. Let's check out the email address. omarcrea@geeksterlabs.com. Oops. It thinks that the L in labs is a number 1, so that's another place where it kind of tweaked a little bit. But you can see here the date, it didn't pick up the date completely. It actually thought that comma after the date was a period. I've actually tested this before. There's an example of it earlier when I was playing with it. September 5th, see, when you do write a little bit larger, it's a lot easier to recognize what you're writing. So September 5th, 2014 at 8 p.m. So it breaks everything up into different sections in your notes. So here's a cool thing about this, okay? These linkable items, if I needed to get, like, say, someone's phone number or contact information, they can write all that stuff on my pad. It would electronify it over here, and I can add it into my contacts on my device. The cool thing about the drawings is, for those of you that are graphic designers, everyone else might not understand what I'm about to say, but whenever you draw images on here and you save this, you can save this as a PDF, you can export it out and send it. You can actually open up these items in like Illustrator, these PDFs, and these graphics, these hand-drawn graphics, will be vectorized. So you can manipulate them in like Adobe Illustrator. So that is really good for those who are like sketching, doing types of things for like logos, or any kind of graphic, anything that's kind of graphic like that. You can actually sketch and draw pictures and import them into like Photoshop, or if you want to manipulate them into Illustrator, and you can actually use these in your logos and such. So that is, I think that's really, really cool. So let me show you guys an example of what it looks like whenever you do a pen cast. So as you guys can see over here on this tablet on the bottom, I do have a place here that says record, pause, and play. If I was to tap on those, the device I'm using, whether it's an iPhone, an iPod, or an iPad, it'll start recording. There's also an icon right here where I can select it and it'll do the same thing. So while it's recording, it's keeping track of in my notes where I am while it's recording. So this is really cool. Let me show you. Here's a sample I did a little earlier. I'm going to turn to this page to show you guys. Okay, so let's pretend I'm inside my math class and I have the Pythagorean theorem right here. So let's go over here to my pencasts. I've already recorded this. So whenever you record the audio while you're doing this, it records step by step where you are in the process of writing it. So if you can see over here, it's probably pretty faint to see on camera, but it's green. See how it's like a light green right here? As the audio is playing, you'll see it start to appear black, and that's when I'm actually writing it. So I'm going to play a little bit of audio for you. So let's check it out.
Yes, hello class. Today we're going to be discussing the Pythagorean theorem. This is a theorem that you would use to discover the edges of a right triangle. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. It's very simple, folks.
Okay. So as you guys can see, it's becoming green as you hear the audio saying it. So that's actually in the point of the lecture where I was actually writing those items on there. So it's really cool. And the cool thing too is you can skip. If I want to skip through my drawing and go jump into different sections. And yes, I know for those of you that are paying attention, that's not the correct answer. That's actually the square root of 13, but whatever. Anyways, so as the audio is playing, it's actually writing out the items. So they're really faintly, lightly gray, but they turn to like a light green as I'm writing them through the thing. So imagine if I had an hour's full of notes from a lecture, and I have an hour recorded of the lecture right here, so I could jump to the exact spot when he was talking about certain things and see what I was writing as he was talking about them. Just a really, really cool, awesome feature, I think, for lectures, for business meetings, for, you know, if you're like a journalist or an editor and you're doing an interview with somebody and you're writing notes and things like that. That would be so perfect to see exactly what they were saying while you were writing, just so you know exactly where they're at in the discussion. So that's a really cool feature. And the cool thing about this is that you can actually share these. So if I wanted to share these, I can email it to somebody, and I'll open up a new email. I'll delete that draft. You can even send it through Evernote and OneNote. That's one of the cool features about this, is like you can actually sync it up with your Evernote or your OneNote account and share all these notes with that as well. And so here's a cool thing. If I was to share this with somebody, if I email this to one of my friends and they don't have Evernote, when they get the email will let them know that if you want to listen to this audio, it'll let them see the PDF, but if you want to hear the audio, they can download the app. They can open this up on their iPhone and they can hear the exact same thing. They can hear the audio because the audio is actually embedded into the PDF. However, I don't believe that you can I don't think you can separate the audio. The audio is it's stored within the PDF. There's no options or anything to separate the or take the audio out. But still, I just think that would be such an awesome, cool feature. Of course, the longer you record and the longer the audio is, the bigger the file is going to be. So you may run into some issues if it's like an hour-long recording. But for short, really short note lectures and things like that, 15 minutes or so, I think that would be really helpful. Here's another cool example, something you could do for those of you that like are maybe you're app developers or things like that. If you have any sketches or drawings, you can go from having it on paper and directly passing it into the feed right here. And as you transfer through any kind of notes or text that you would write or anything you can put in there, it would automatically electronify the text immediately. So I think it's really cool. It's because, I mean, keep in mind, once you use up this tablet, you don't have to keep the tablet. All of your notes are going to be stored in your iPad, which is awesome. So no matter how many of these things you have stacked up, how many sheets of paper you have, your iPad's only going to remain so thick because all of it's stored right in there. So you can have everything neatly organized, archived, all within your application, the Livescribe application. So just really, really cool. One thing to note, guys, that I did check and test out, because I figured some people would ask me, is what if you're in a dark area? Like say you're in a lecture, they're using a projector, the lights are really, really low. Will the pen have a hard time writing or seeing the text that I'm writing on the screen? And I'll tell you this, guys, I actually tested this out in a pitch black closet. No light whatsoever, barely light coming from the bottom of the door, very, very dark. I'm not sure how it did it, but it recognized what I was writing in the pitch dark, like pitch dark, no light whatsoever, in like a broom closet. I don't know exactly, like I said, I'm not sure exactly how it worked, but I was really surprised. I didn't think it was going to pick it up as cleanly as it did. It had no issues whatsoever with that. So I was pretty impressed with that as it is. So besides that, guys, I just think there's some really cool features and things that you could probably do with this. Really cool uses. Like I said, if you're a graphic designer, you want to draw pictures or logo graphics or things like that. If you're an app developer and you want to draw out, any kind of line mock-ups or things like that for like an app or a web design or things like that, or if you're just taking regular notes, really cool things that you can do with it. See, on the top right here we have some programmable buttons, so if you want to, you can program those to be different things. And on the bottom here we have the star, the flag, and the tag, and those are, if you want to tag those in special ways, it'll appear up here and you can see all the ones that you've specially tagged. Like, let's say there's a special part in the lecture that you're listening to where he's going to be like, this information is going to be on the quiz or whatever. You can tap that, it'll remember that, so whenever you want to see all those notes where this specific thing was tagged, it'll organize those for you. So just really easy to do. There's not too much frills or anything to the app itself. Very simple. You can add videos, or you can add photos and text into your notes. You can see all of the notes all in one big stream, so it's really easy to cut through and see. It organizes all the stuff based on when you wrote them, by the date and everything. So as you can see, these are all the different notes. I was using this to write some scripts from some of my reviews and things like that. And all you gotta do is click on feed, and it'll convert all the text to it. And so now I can take this text, I can email it to myself, and now I can add it to my reviews. If it's like, if I use these as scripts on my videos and I want to have this to be a transcript of my, if they don't want to, if they can't hear it, but if they want to read what it is I said, I can pop that right into my video description. And it's very simple now. I don't have to actually retype everything all over again. See, for me, guys, I don't like typing things, which is funny for me as being a tech person, but I rather handwrite everything. That's just the way I am. So this allows me to do that and still be able to save these files on my Google Drive or wherever it is, and I still have access to them no matter where I am. Or if I have my tablet with me, then I can use my tablet. So really cool product, guys, and I think hopefully I did a good enough demonstration for you. If there's anything that I didn't show you here that you have any questions about, make sure you do ask me about that. So in conclusion, guys, I think this is such an awesome product. The Livescribe pen definitely is something that's very innovative and definitely deserves our Editor's Choice Award. I think that there's so many different uses for it, and there's so many different target audiences that would find this pen useful. I mean, we're talking about students, we're talking about business professionals, reporters, journalists, writers, even artists. Like I showed you guys some of the drawings that you can do and vectorize those things. Even artists would find this pen to be such a useful tool. And really the only negatives I can find about this pen at all is that this pen might be a little bit larger for some people to get used to. For me, it took me a little while to get used to the kind of the larger size of it, so once I got used to it, though, I could take notes very quickly, and then it was no issue whatsoever for me. But pretty much, guys, that has been my experience while using the Livescribe pen, and I absolutely recommend you guys checking it out. I think for $150, you can't go wrong with it. The types of things that you can do with it, especially like those types of people I mentioned already, I think that they would find this pen to be extremely useful and find so many different uses for it that it would make the $150 easy money to spend on that. So that's it for my review, guys. If you have any questions about what you've seen and what I've gone over here, please post them down below in the comments. I read each and every comment on all of my videos, and I do my best to get back to you guys as quickly as I can. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you show some love to the like button down below and give me a thumbs up. And if you want to stay up to date with all of my content, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And as always, guys, make sure you stop by geeksterlabs.com for the latest in tech news and video reviews. And I'll see you in the next video review. See you guys. Sellcashier.com offers you good money for your used iPhone, and it's very easy. Here's how it works. Visit sellcashier.com, select your phone's model, carrier, storage size, and condition, and instantly receive a quote for your phone. After that, choose your shipping option, which includes having a prepaid label and box sent to you. Once Sellcashier receives your package and examines your phone to assess its condition, you'll receive payment via PayPal or check, and that's it. Super simple and much safer than dealing with those weirdos on Craigslist. Sellcashier.com. Simple, fast, secure. This video was sponsored by Sellcashier.com. Sellcashier pays top dollar for your used iPhone. Get a quote, ship your phone, and get paid. It's that simple. Check out more details at the end of this video. What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar from GeeksterLabs.com. How you guys doing today? Well, today I'm really excited about this product I'm about to show you because this is probably one of the coolest products I've ever had the opportunity to review. This is something that was sent to me free for review from Livescribe, and today we have the Livescribe 3 Smartpen. So this product retails for $150. They also have a Pro Edition, which is $200, which comes with a couple extras, plus a one-year Evernote subscription. So this is basically a Bluetooth smart pen that works along with a special notebook from Livescribe in conjunction with a mobile app that they have available for the iPhone and the iPad. And it basically allows you to write notes into the notepad, and then it instantly appears and transfers all those notes onto your device. It's a really awesome product. There's some really cool uses for it in different scenarios that I want to kind of give you guys demonstrations of in a second. But first off, let's get to the basics. So included in the box we have, of course, the smart pen. We have a starter notebook that they send you, and this is a 50-page notebook. They also include one tungsten carbide ballpoint ink cartridge that comes in black medium, and the micro USB charging cable as well. So let's check out the pen. First off, the way you turn it on is by twisting the middle section of the pen with the grip right there. When you do that, it turns on and the pen tip does come out. We have a nice LED light that turns on to show you the status. The first one would be green, which is powered on but in waiting for connection. After that, it could be blue, which means it's on and connected to your device. If it blinks yellow 3 times, that means you have 50% battery life left. And if it blinks yellow, that means the firmware update is in process. And if the light is solid red, that means it's recording audio.